Welcome guys to the 2-4 notes writing equations of lines. Again, most of this might seem similar, so hopefully it won't take us too long. So, how do you write the equation of a line when given a slope and a point is our essential question. But first off, we're going to begin with case 1. So first, if you're given the slope of a line and the y-intercept, it's very easy. So this one is like the easiest level. Recall, slope of our lines are going to be y equals mx plus b. All right, well, if you're given the slope, so we're given the slope of 3/4, and we're given the y-intercept, those two things are right here. M is your slope, and b is the y-intercept. Okay, so if you remember that, it's easy as substituting this stuff in. So we know y is equal to our slope m, which is given to us as 3/4. So you simply write as 3/4. X stays the same. And plus, we always have plus b, or the y-intercept, equals -2. And if you simplify, you simply have y is equal to 3/4 x, and this here just becomes -2. Easy peasy, level 1. Y equals 3/4 x minus 2. Given a slope and a point is a little more challenging, so it's our level 2. And that's because you need point slope form, which is this here. Y minus y1, which is equal to m times quantity x minus x1. You need this here, and you'll also be given a point, and this is where the x's and y's come from, x sub 1 and y sub 1. So this is actually the coordinate point, which is right here. All right, so determine x sub 1 and y sub 1. That's given to us from our 5-4. Simply put, 5 is going to be our x sub 1, and 4 is going to be our y sub 1. M is how conveniently given to us as -3. And you just substitute it all in there. So it becomes y minus 4 is equal to m, which we know is -3, times the quantity. Notice x and y stay as variables. Okay, times the quantity minus x sub 1, which we know is 5. From here, you simplify. So y minus 4 equals, distribute the 3. And don't forget to distribute to the other side. We want to get y by itself, so we add 4. And we have y is equal to -3x plus 19. So your only additional step is to use point slope form, y minus y1, and so forth. The last case, kind of the most challenging of them all for these, is write the equation through the points. So now we're given 2 points. Well, that means first we need to find the slope, which is what you did yesterday. So slope, if you recall, is m equals y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. You again can choose which is which. Okay, that's how I'll choose to do it. Y2 is 10 minus -2. Hopefully you're comfortable finding slope. And 2 minus 5 tells me positive 12 over -3, which tells me my slope is -4. So m equals -4. Now, once you find the slope, it's just the same as the previous. So we need the slope, and we need to decide on a point. You can choose either one, but for simplicity's sake, I will choose the point x1, y1, or 5, -2. Which means we're going to substitute back into point slope, since we have a point and we have a slope. Y minus -2 equals -4 times the quantity x minus 5. Again, our slope, x sub 1 and y sub 1. The y sub 1, sorry, and x sub 1. Simplify, being careful. So this is y plus 2 equals -4x plus 20. Subtract 2, subtract 2, and we end up with, if that's right, y equals -4x plus 18. Okay, so that's the third most challenging right there for us, but hopefully it is not too bad. Okay, going on from here. So those are challenging. These look challenging. So they look challenging, but don't let them fool you. They're really easy when you think about it. Really easy, I promise. So when you think. Okay. Determine what a parallel slope would be. So we want to write the equation of a line through the point that is parallel. Now, if you remember, parallel lines means same slope. If we want it to be parallel to this line, and the slope is currently -4, the slope we'd want to use would want to be the same, or -4. Okay, we want it to be parallel, so we decide that the slope is -4. Once you find that slope, we have a point. And again, when you have the slope and you have a point, we're going to choose point slope. So it's going to be y minus -5 equals our slope is -4, x minus -3, -4x. That'll be a +3 times a -4 would be a -12. And lastly, y would be subtract 5, -4x minus 17. Now at the end, these two should be parallel. Okay, so they should have the same slope, which they do, and different y-intercepts. So they're really not all that hard when you think about it. Okay, the second type of challenge is perpendicular. Well, you need to remember, perpendicular is opposite and reciprocal. So, if the slope is 4, the perpendicular to 4, opposite reciprocal, m would be, we'd want -1/4. That's our slope to decide on. Now again, once you decide your slope, we have a point, 3, -1, and a point and a slope, point-slope form. So y minus -1 equals -1/4 times the quantity x minus 3. Distribute. Run out of space, sorry. And then y equals, we subtract 1, and you subtract 1, -1/4 x minus 1/4. Now, at this point again, you check the slopes. Are these two perpendicular to one another? So this first equation is always what you're referencing. It's your reference that you just decide upon the slope. We'll be doing a lot of practice with these two particular ones and also with the previous. So I know it's probably quick, but please bring your questions to class, of course. Submit the EQ. And that's all, guys. So 12 minutes. Awesome stuff. See you tomorrow.